If unable to save, then bombed to death. U.S. military brutally attacks its own pilot. Iran offers a bounty for capturing alive. Trump is trapped in a deadlock. Can you imagine it? U.S. soldiers waiting for rescue in Iranian mountains. But what comes is their own bombs. This is not alarmist talk. This is the early morning of April 5th. Explosive news from Iran's Tasnim news agency. After all attempts to rescue the downed aircraft pilot failed, the U.S. is attempting through bombing to directly bomb the missing U.S. pilot to death within Iran. What exactly did the U.S. military experience to take such a harsh action against their own people? The matter starts on April 3rd. That day, a U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jet over central Iran in Khogaluya, over Boyar Ahmad province, was shot down by Iranian air defense systems. 2 pilots ejected to safety. U.S. swiftly dispatched elite forces into Iran's interior for rescue, but the entire rescue operation was a disaster. 2 Black Hawk helicopters just entered Iranian airspace, were hit by local armed personnel with light weapons. Smoke rose from the fuselage. Personnel on board were injured, ultimately forced to flee in embarrassment. Thus, all U.S. rescue attempts completely failed. 1 pilot was rescued. Another remains missing to this day, and the Iranians have launched a nationwide manhunt. How are the Iranians treating this matter? They have started a mocking mode. Iran's Speaker of Parliament, Kalibaf, mocked on social media. This war waged by the U.S. and Israel has now downgraded from plotting regime and espionage to, hey, who can find our pilot? Besides mocking, Iran has launched a nationwide search, national TV rolling subtitles, urging people to shoot as soon as they see them. Local businessman offers a $50,000 reward. Boyar Ahmad Khogaluya deputy governor, personally ordered. Whether capturing alive or killing, there are great rewards. One could say in the valleys of Iran, in every corner of villages where one can hide. There are Iranians in the search, but what happened next was the most surreal, according to sources, in the Iranian military. Night of the 4th to dawn on the 5th. U.S. military dispatched aircraft bombed several areas in Khogaluya and Boyar Ahmad province. What is the target? Not Iran's military facilities, but the possible hiding spot of the missing pilot. That's right. The U.S. military wanted to bomb its own pilot. Why would the U.S. make such a seemingly crazy move? The reason is very cold. In the pilot's head are core secrets of the entire Middle East theater. Operational plans, communication frequencies, penetration routes, friendly forces, deployment coordinates. Once he is captured alive by Iran, all this information will fall into Iranian hands. By then, all U.S. military operations in the Middle East will become transparent in front of Iran. Moreover, if this U.S. pilot is captured alive and displayed on television, that would be the greatest humiliation for the U.S. since the war began. The history lesson of captured U.S. personnel is painful. 1993 Somalia Black Hawk crash. A pilot was captured. The U.S. military eventually withdrew completely from Somalia. The Pentagon would rather have him dead than alive as a bargaining chip for Iran. Trump himself, in an interview, expressed deep frustration. He refused to discuss specifics of the search and rescue operation, but still said it would not affect negotiations. However, an indisputable fact is the U.S. military went deep into the enemy's territory in broad daylight to rescue people. This is extremely rare in modern warfare. It in itself indicates the U.S. military is in a hurry. What does this mean? F-15E was shot down. Black Hawk was damaged. The people they wanted to rescue couldn't be rescued. The people they wanted to kill couldn't be killed. Secondly, Iran's nationwide search in the mode of people's war nullified the special operation advantages of the U.S. military. More fatal is that Trump is stuck in a deadlock. If the pilot is captured alive and displayed by Iran, domestic anti-war sentiment in the U.S. will erupt completely. If the pilot is killed by his own U.S. military, the rage within the military and international opinion is equally unbearable. This is a godsend. The value of an active duty American pilot is far more than the bounty of hundreds of thousands of dollars, but a strategic piece sufficient to change the course of the entire war. And the news of the U.S. bombarding its own pilot, once confirmed, would be devastating to U.S. military morale. The situation is no longer just within missile range, but also among the hearts and minds of people. And that American pilot still hiding in the Iranian mountains, hidden American pilot, is the most brutal footnote of this war. A living person hunted by their own people, with a bounty from the enemy, abandoned by fate.